Welcome back to the Crime Decoder. Today, we're delving deep into one of the most disturbing and heartbreaking cases out of Montgomery County, Maryland. This story involves senseless violence, domestic tragedy, and a historic legal milestone. It centers on Torrey Damien Moore, a man whose actions led to the deaths of 3 victims, a hard-working store clerk, his pregnant girlfriend, and their unborn child. It's December 8th, 2022, around 3 p.m. At the Dash and Convenience Store inside a Shell gas station on New Hampshire Avenue in the White Oak area of Silver Spring, surveillance cameras capture everything. A man enters, browses briefly, grabs a bottle of iced tea, and approaches the counter. He's wearing khaki pants, a blue shirt, a durag, a gray hat, a blue hoodie, and a tan coat clothing witnesses would later describe in frantic 911 calls. The clerk is 61-year-old Ilu Wandamu, an immigrant from Ethiopia who'd been working there for years. What starts as a simple transaction explodes into violence. The customer opens the iced tea without paying. Tension builds, words are exchanged. Items are thrown across the counter. Wandamu, defending himself and the store, grabs a metal pole from behind the counter and swings it. In response, the man pulls a silver handgun and opens fire, shooting Wandamu multiple times, even leaning over the counter to fire additional rounds as the clerk collapses helpless on the floor. The shooter then calmly picks up his iced tea bottle and walks out, heading straight across the street to the Enclave Silver Spring apartment complex. 911 calls flood in immediately. One caller describes the suspect in detail and mentions he walked toward the apartments. Another, a coworker, desperately tries to help. He's barely breathing, shot in the chest twice in the heart area. First responders arrive quickly, but it's too late. Ilu Wandamu is pronounced dead. An autopsy later confirms he was shot 3 times. Store employees are in shock during interviews. The manager explains this wasn't random. The suspect had been a regular nuisance, loitering daily, aggressively panhandling, and causing problems inside the store. They'd issued multiple trespass notices, called police several times, and even banned him. Just a week earlier, he'd threatened to shoot the manager after being asked to leave. "He told me he's going to shoot me, I'm going to kill you," the manager recalls. Despite complaints, police responses hadn't prevented escalation. Using witness descriptions, store footage, and building surveillance showing the suspect entering the enclave calmly at 3:03 p.m. Iced tea in hand, detectives identify him as 31-year-old, now 34, Torrey Damien Moore, resident in the complex directly opposite the store. By early morning December 9th, SWAT executes a no-knock warrant at his apartment on Oakleaf Drive. They find Moore inside, asleep on a bare mattress in a cluttered, filthy unit. He's arrested peacefully, but as officers clear the rooms, an overwhelming stench hits them. In the bedroom, under a blanket on the floor, they discover a severely decomposed body bloated with mice scurrying around. It's a woman, far along in pregnancy. The victim is identified as 26-year-old Denise Middleton, Moore's and-off girlfriend. She'd been 8.5 months pregnant with a boy she planned to name Ezekiel. Autopsy: shot 7 times, at least 4 in the back. She'd been dead for about 2 months since early October 2022, the unborn child. Viable at that stage is considered a separate victim. The last sighting of Denise alive. Apartment surveillance from October 9th, 2022. Moore and a visibly pregnant Denise enter the building around 7 p.m. after an outing. In the elevator, she's standing apart from him, wiping tears, looking distraught. He blocks others from joining. They head to his unit, she follows slowly. Moore is seen leaving alone about an hour later. Denise is never seen alive again. Moore and Denise had a turbulent relationship, marked by breakups, reconciliations, homelessness, and involvement in social programs. Both struggled with housing instability. Denise was staying in a supportive program, but Moore believed it exploited her. He invited her to live with him temporarily, especially after learning she was pregnant with his child. They argued constantly about infidelity, suspicions, money, everything. A trip to New York to visit her mom turned into fights. Back in Maryland, tensions peaked. Phone records reveal Moore traveled out of state shortly after October 9th to North Carolina, then California for weeks. During this time, his Google searches include chilling queries. How long before a body starts to stink, how to move a dead body without being seen, and even how to plead insanity. He returns to Maryland around November, resuming life in the apartment with Denise's body still there. He lives alongside the decomposition for another month until the store shooting brings police to his door. In interrogation, Moore shows little remorse. He justifies the store shooting as self-defense. The clerk hit him with the pole first, after an argument over loitering. For Denise, he initially denies involvement, claims he found her dead, or hints at others framing him. Under pressure, he alludes to a violent fight involving weapons. A sword was found in the apartment, saying she threatened, "One of us is going to die tonight," and implying he had no choice. He blames her aggression, her size, the pregnancy stress, but never fully confesses outright. Detectives note his manipulative tactics, comparing it to police justifications for shootings, and his odd comments about writing a book on this famous case. Moore's defense later argues mental health issues, including schizophrenia, claiming he wasn't competent. Early on, he was briefly deemed incompetent to stand trial, but evaluations proceeded. Trials separate for the cases. In May 2024, convicted of first-degree murder and firearm charges for Ayalu Wundamu. In November 2024, convicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder, Denise and the viable fetus, plus related charges, marking Montgomery County's first-ever conviction for murdering an unborn viable child. Final sentencing came in June 2025, before Judge Rachel McGuckian. 3 consecutive life sentences, 1 for each victim, plus an additional 80 years concurrent on firearm and other counts. Prosecutors called the act's executions, highlighting the danger Moore posed. He won't be parole eligible until his 90s, if ever. Moore remained silent in court, no apology, no explanation. Denise's family spoke out, heartbroken over losing her and the grandson they'd never meet. "We were robbed of her," one said. They still wonder why Ayalu's loved ones mourn a kind, dedicated worker taken senselessly. This case underscores the horrors of domestic violence, how arguments can turn deadly, especially involving pregnancy, and the ripple effects on communities. What do you think? Was justice served with the sentences? How chilling are those Google searches? Share your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. If this deep dive hit hard, smash that like button. Subscribe for more in-depth true crime breakdowns, and hit the bell for notifications. Stay aware, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next one on the Crime Decoder.